Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do Hybrids, the Son of the Gods, Trash Day by Arrow Comics Volume 1. So, yeah, I received a digital copy of this, trade paperback. I didn't, read everything because there's, I believe, 140 plus pages. So that for the review, I cannot do it. I mean, it's a little bit too much. So I'm going to do it in small phases, review this part and then the next one and then the next one and see if it's actually good. So I received this from Luke Stone, who is the creator of this comic. He's the writer. He's also the artist, along with Brian Dawson, colorist Patrick Gaman, letterer Nikki Powers, editor Piper Steed, and the cover is by Luke Stone. Cover image Luke Stone and Patrick Gaman. I believe then this was the one because this is done by Kanan White and Eric Hodson. Now, Luke ask people on Twitter if somebody wants to review this. I said yes, so I received a copy. So this is an Indiegogo project that's been around for a while, and I'm going to check it out. Also, before we get into this, Luke Stone also, I believe he was the founder, maybe creator of the Fund My Comic platform that, same with Kickstarter, Indiegogo, but there's a lot of shenanigans going on with Indiegogo, and a lot of people don't like Kickstarter. So I believe he decided then to make his own platform, which is very successful. There's a lot of creators going there. So I'm going to leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. Also, I must say, when it comes to indie comics, I'm a little bit more lenient because there is not a $1 million company behind it that can hire top of the bill artists and writers. So, but that being said, being indie creator does not mean that you are immune to criticism. And there is some things in here that I like. There is some things in here that is room for improvement, and I'm going to point them all out in my own way, as you know. So without further ado, let's dive in and see if it's actually good. First of all, I like the cover. Kanan White is really good. Eric Dodson did a lot of work too. So yeah. So we were here in the beginning, right? This guy is being followed by this, I don't know, flying vehicle, and it shoots at him. And then Clarence here, that's his name, is powering up. And then, we're going to skip a little bit out here because I don't want to show the whole comic. So what I did, I cut out some bits and pieces of the art and put them together for this review. I think it's important that we're not going to show everything when it comes to. Well, that's not entirely true because mostly I spoil a lot, but I'm not going to do with this one. So we see our hero. Sorry, I forgot his name, Clarence, and he's working for a trash can company. Trash can? That's probably I'm saying. Garbage company. Sorry, English is not my first language, so forgive me. And so he has a coworker, and he says, "Did you catch those lights last night?" "Yeah, I heard something about that." "Yeah, they said these lights have been shown up all over the world. What do you think it is?" "Not sure. Probably some kind of an aircraft testing or something." Of course, these conspiracy guys are having a field day with it. So they are getting out of the car. And his coworker says, "Hey, you feel okay?" He says, "Yeah, why?" "Well, you're just looking a little bit extra swole today." "Seriously, dude, how do you find clothes that fit? Come on, man, give me a break. I was born this way." "Sure, you were born with biceps as big as my head." Right, but then something's happening. So there's a drone scanning our hero. And he says, "Yeah, I think we found him. Hey, big guy, you're about to get some company. Any second now, things are going to get crazy." He says, "The hell?" So, and there's some kind of a small conversation here, but then shit hits the fan somewhat. Well, not really for now, but he's transforming into his, well, he's using his powers. And so his coworker says, well, born that way, huh? And then there's also a guy with a car that's crashed into him. And then there's an aircraft coming. And then these two guys, guys and gals, coming out. And so this wolf guy says, hey, we got another runner. Doc said this one might give some trouble. How about we share ourselves a little time? I bet we can get an address out of his friend over here. All right, but then a short time later, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So this guy is still on the phone, and these new people come here, right, and talk to his coworker, and he says, "Hey, we are here to help your friend Clarence. You just missed him. He prefers to call himself Trash Man." Now, small criticism here. Well, small, maybe a big one. This truck, I'm not sure why this is in here. It looks like some kind of a big toy truck. You could leave this out of it. I mean, it doesn't make sense that it's in here, especially with this perspective here. I must say I like the colors, although there's some small things that I don't like about the colors, but we're going to address that a little bit later, right? Anyway, so this girl says, hey, what's happening here? There's two that came, took my phone, wallet, and keys, and got T's address from my phone. From the look of it, this guy's a destructive force of nature. They just could follow the rubble. Yeah, we call you a cat, but we need to try and catch up to him. So who are these guys? I don't know for now, but we're going to find out. So Trash Man, I'm calling Trash Man from now here on. He's a loving, caring guy that, is a normal guy, works has a normal job, not a very high paid job. I mean, he's not an office company worker or something, just a normal guy, living his life, has a dog, loves this dog. Call him Sergeant Pepper. I like that. And he says, hey, I'm coming back, but I need to go somewhere. And then he goes in out of this apartment, and he's so big that he barely fits through the door. But then the enemies catch up to him, and he says, hey, how do they find me? Change of plans. You're coming with me, Pep. And so this wolf guy attacks him, and he looks a little bit something from if I go back to the X-Men, there's in the Shi'ar Empire, there's some kind of a soldier, super powered beings that looks a little bit like him, right? I mean, there's I believe Luke clearly looks at 90s comics for reference and create this character, right? I like this, with the eyes and the shading and the lighting effect. Looks really cool. I also like this colors, really well done when it comes to shading and lightning to a certain degree with the yellows, the orange, and the browns. What I don't like is this particular shading effect here on the knee and on this armpit. Looks a little bit weird. Also, this character, yeah, I would have put her here somewhere, near this bush. Yeah, just the angle is a little bit, this placement with this character is a little bit off, in my opinion. Anyway, so they're having a fight. And but this is happening. Where's the punch? I missed the punch here. Like I said, this some problems with how the pacing is being portrayed here. I know where Lucas was going for. He's powering up, uses his fist, wants to punch him. He punches him, but we don't see the punch, right? Also, a little bit weird stuff. She says, stop messing around and use the stun charges. If you are facing an enemy, maybe it's a good idea not to, turn your back on him and talk to your colleague that's down on the floor. Okay, but besides that, they are shooting him. Nothing is happening. And then they use something stronger, which means that, the apartment is getting blasted to bits, and Trash Man is escaping, right? And again, there's some cool bits in here that I like. I like that he's hiding here and he's talking to his dog and he says, "Hey, I know you are pretty hungry, but we got to get moving, right? And we need to get away from all of these people. I know just where to go. The sun is coming up, nice lighting effects, shadows, pretty cool. I like that. When it comes to coloring, I like that. When it comes to art, I have some words about that. It's not the best art, like I said. I'm a little bit lenient when it comes to you know indie art, right? And we see a shot of the city, which looks really nice. But when it comes to facial expressions, it's a little bit wonky here and there, especially with the eyes. Coming back to that also a little bit later, but we're going to continue the story. So then other people are coming that we've seen before, and they're looking for, Trash Man, but he's not here anymore, right? And he's moving fast. Then we go to the bad guys, and they are in the ship. Again, lighting, coloring looks nice, different shades of colors thrown into the mix, which gives us a nice gloomy feel when they are in the ship. Pretty nice. I like that. Like I said, when it comes to the knees and the shading and before, if you're going to do it like this, like here, and on the rest of the body, I think that's the preferred way to show off, shading instead of, this. You know what I mean, right? So, and then they are talking to, I believe, their employers, and they, they say they make first contact, but then they are not able to, apprehend this person. And but the other one says, that's on the other side, says, "I don't care what you do, just bring him in." Right? Cool. But then more wonky stuff. So this wolf guy says, "Hey, there he is. Let us see if he is bulletproof." Now, I prefer that we see from maybe a bird's eye that Trash Man was walking here somehow, or maybe from this vehicle that's been, that they are flying in, and then that they are, caught onto him, shooting him, etc., instead of this guy telling us that, hey, here they are, right? Small visual things that makes a lot of difference. So they are shooting at him, and then we are here at the beginning of this book, because that leads us back to the beginning. So Trash Man uses his powers, shoots this vehicle into smithereens, and then this woman here called Clara, no, this Trash Man called Clarence, I'm sorry, uses her powers, and I'm not sure what her powers are. They're just, energy balls, right? Yeah, it could be pretty nice. But then this visual thing here throws me off a little bit. So I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm not sure what Luke was going for. I mean, as a reader, you can interpret it in this many, many ways, right? You can say that this guy's using his powers, then maybe the ground is, moving, and what is with this energy things that's been floating around? Is this bouncing off of Trash Man, or is just coming towards him? I'm not entirely sure. What is this thing behind him? Is this some kind of a portal? Is this a door? What is it? What I think Luke was going for, that normally, well, not normally, but maybe he is hit with so much force that he's been pushed back, right? And then the ground is, coming up, and then he grabs his hand into the ground, and then it causes this effect. I think that is what Luke is going for, but I'm not sure this is the right way to show it, because it's a little bit weird to look at, in my opinion. So Trash Man is kind of powering up, and so Wolfman says it doesn't look good, and he's doing some kind of a slamming to the ground, which causes these evil guys to thrown to the side. But then I'm not sure why you're using this boom effect in a transparent way, because it's blending with the backgrounds. I mean, if you're doing a visual effect, then it needs to be impactful, right? It needs to show that it's boom, and then the sound effect comes forward into your face, and then that we can feel actually what's going on instead of this washed out effect, sound effect. It's a little bit weird. So other people come in that we've seen before and says, "Hey, not bad, big guy. This belongs to you." And then we see Sergeant Pepper here, right? When it comes to body proportions, I think Luke nailed it. It looks really cool. Yeah, it looks a little bit too skinny, but maybe this guy is a skinny guy, right? But again, coming to facial expressions here, it needs work. A lot of these eyes look way too, what's the word I'm looking for? It's too wide. I think that's the right word. It looks too wide, and it brings me, it feels like all of these facial expressions looks a little bit wonky here and there. I mean, if you look at this old guy, has a little bit of the same eye width as our hero Trashman, stuff like that. Okay, but so the let's say good guys, good superhero guys, take Trashman with him, and he says, "What is happening to me?" So this guy in the wheelchair is the leader. Maybe a little bit Doom Patrol here. Guy with a beard, handicapped, wheelchair, but he has some harsh language, and he says, "Well, settle down, Buttercup, and get your pants in the wad." Not sure this edgy language is necessary, but maybe this is a gruff guy that's seen a lot of bad stuff. And so this other guy, I believe he's the tech guy. He's he's computer guy. You can see all these things on his face. Says what Danny is so delicately trying to say. Give us a moment to attempt an explanation. Okay, and it seems that this dude with the blonde hair can teleport. So this explanation is like more that it's genetics. So he is, I don't know, have powers. Seems maybe from his ancestors. Where they came from, they do not know. But there's a lot of other people that has also superpowers, right? Okay, interesting. And but there's also other groups of involved that look for people like him. A lot of more small criticism. Use more shadows, please. Around here, this feels a little empty. There's a lot of things in the background, which I like. I'm a big fan of backgrounds, but give that more shadows. It looks very static. You can also paint here some shadows below their feet. Small stuff, when visual storytelling, right? Anyway. So they would go to the bad guys' headquarters. I guess it's called the Hybrid Engineering Corp, and it seems that this guy is, I believe, the showrunner, and he's pretty mad because it's the heroes did that before. They stopped multiple times. That this guy's tried to capture other people, with superpowers, and the good guys stopped them, right? He's pretty mad about that. And it seems that these bad guys, the superhero, the wolf guy and this girl, are maybe not that bad after all, because it seems that he has family members hostage, so they need to do what they want. And so, yeah. So there's a whole thing going on. What their end goal is, I do not know, but yeah, for now, we'll leave it at that. And this girl is really sad about that. I believe her sister was captured or maybe kidnapped by this guy, and stuff. Anyway, then we go back to Trashman, and it seems that his buddy, his co-worker is found him, I believe, or maybe this is in his apartment. I'm not entirely sure where they are. I also do not know why or how his, co-worker found him. Maybe they have some phone calls. I really do not know. And it was also weird that his coworker doesn't ask about these other people, except that he said, "Hey, I can see why you ditch me," and that she is cute. Now, if I were his coworker or maybe a friend, I would ask, "Hey, dude, what is happening? Where does your powers come from? Who are these guys, etc." No, he says, "Hey, man, um, sun's gonna get up soon, and I have to go get to work. Be careful," and he walks away. Why not asking these questions, right? There's some disconnect here. Anyway, so it seems that this girl with the green jacket likes the physique of Trash Man, and he says, "I still don't have a shirt." And he says, "Yeah, I know." When it comes to colors, there's a little bit too much samey colors when it comes to oranges, reds, brown, and especially green, right? So we have green hair with a green top, with a green jacket, and the green gloves, and a green pants. But this guy with the red head has also the same kind of green, if you know what I mean. That's, yeah, it's rhyming, but that's not what I'm trying to say. So a lot of samey colors. You could change that up a little bit here and there. Anyway, so it seems that Tech Guy has found some movement. And what he means with that is that they are basically a Cerebro, or something like that. It seems that he has hacked into the enemy's computer, and the enemy's computer can find other people like them. So they need to round him up, but he hacked into them, so he gets some kind of a notification that basically they have the same message that they are looking for this girl called Diamond, and they need to get her first before the other ones, before the bad guys find her. Stuff like that, right? How do they get there? Well, they can have some kind of a teleportation device has the same kind of powers as this blonde guy who can teleport around. So they are, have the same signature, and they use that power to make a teleporter out of it, something like that. Also, there's some humor in here from that doesn't really work for me personally. Like here, "Hey, beat me up, Scotty." And the big guy says, "Who is Scotty? Seriously? Not a Trekkie?" Yeah, no. Anyway, so Diamond is here, and they are catching up to her. And he says, "Hey, kid," says the girl in green, right? She uses her, so she has some kind of a lightning power, light powers, and she can bend light, I believe. And Trash Man is, "Oh man, I can see nothing," right? And then he's getting attacked by this guy that looks like a villain from a James Bond, probably also reference from early James Bond movies, I'm guessing. But I like that. And he says, "There was a worse one." And so James Bond villain says, "You find yourself now between rock and a hard place." And Trashman says, "Yeah, well, time to take out the trash." That's really cheesy. I like that. I like that a lot. Anyway, so there's a big fight, and between the bad guys and the good guys, pretty nice. But when it comes to hitting people, I'm a boxer. If you hit someone in the face, you need to move properly. You need to move your whole body, right? So if you do a left punch, what Trashman is doing, it would have been best if you are rotating your whole body, leaning into it, giving a real whopper against the face. Also, you need to move your hips and your legs a little bit, so for maximum impact, right? So it would be nice if there's some kind of a visual cues here that he's hitting him instead of a crack. More like maybe some speed lines here and there. Like I said, sometimes the art looks very static. You can change that by throwing some speed lines in here, moving your hips, thrusting your body into this, into this punch would be cool. Same as here. So this guy says, "Hey, you have much to learn. luckily for you, I'm a good teacher. So he grabs him, like in a bear hug, and Trash Man, pounds on his head. But then we have this very weak sound effect. Why? I mean, just go for it, man. Just like I said, if you are a kinetic visual action, just throw that sound effect out there, like boom or pow, stuff like that. And if you're doing this I don't know, is this fading in the background? I don't know, but just make it more impactful. Just show us this very kinetic, heart pounding visual effect. Mischance, in my opinion. Anyway, now this is what I like, right? So more cool action. This guy is throwing his body at it, try to slice this teleporter guy, and the teleporter guy is punching from left to right. Pretty cool. I like that a lot. He says, I can do this all day. He says, I'm going to kill you, punk. While he's being hit by his skateboard. What is the skateboard coming from? Right? But I like that. Maybe it's just a free-flowing guy. I mean, I have a skateboard. But then this is happening. So this woman has the power of stasis, I guess. Maybe she can do more than that. I'm not entirely sure. So she says, hey, seriously, we need to talk. But then the girl with the green says, hey, why should I do that? She says, I know you have reasons to hate me, but it's not what you think. Now, I think that is a little bit weird because I don't have found anything in this comic that this green girl is hating this girl for a reason. So if you're going to do that, because this is what, how do you say? Movies, television, comics does this a lot. Oh man, I know you don't like me, but you have the wrong impression about me. But you need to give me that impression, right? You need to give me a reason that X character hates Z character, But in this comic, it hasn't been shown at all. So that's a little bit of a disconnect for me. But she says, hey, I don't have much time. And she says, so she's have everybody in stasis. In a few seconds, I pass out. And when I go down, you have to take me to Rev. Now, Rev is I believe the leader guy with the wheelchair. And basically she says, hey, trust me. And she says, I don't understand. Just promise. How do I explain this? She says. And that brings us to this end of this video, because there's more pages. But like I said, I'm going to do this in phases. So, conclusion. I think there's a lot of good things in here. I like the colors. I'm actually interested in the story. There's some wonky bits when it comes to visuals, when it comes to action, when it comes to facial expression. And sound effects. I still like this one. This is probably one of the best pages here, along with this one. This looks really cool. I like to know more about this guy, Trash Man, but I also found it's a little bit too soon. And with too soon, I mean, when it comes to Trash Man, he has been found by this group of people. He immediately joins them. He doesn't really have much questions about who they are, where they come from. I mean, he is pretty happy with his normal life, but maybe on the other hand, he wants to know where his powers come from and wants to stop the bad guys, right? Because there's people hunting him. I get that. Also, a little bit too much of the green and the browns and the reds when it comes to coloring. This is probably the weakest part. I'm not invested in this guy as a bad guy because we don't know really much about what's going on, etc., etc. I like the angle that they are, using this extortion to. I can see why people liked it, because there's this comic did, I believe, very well, and he did also a lot of other comics. Luke Stone, I'm talking about. And I believe people liked it, and I can see why. There's potential here, right? So, yeah, this is my review, guys, of Hybrids, The Son of the Gods, Trash Trash Day. Let me know what you think about it. And I'm going to continue do the review of the next part of this volume 1. And we'll see if it's actually, well, it's actually getting better. I hope so. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.